Welcome to this first video for the first lesson for the MSD pre-enrollment course at Maharishi International University. My name is Professor Michael Zijlstra. So this video really is an overview for lesson 1. Our Wholeness. The purpose of this course is to give you a taste of programming, to see if it suits you. It also allows us to see if the MSD program will be a good fit for you. We want to maximize chances of success before anyone commits significant resources. Now, problem solving. Really, what we're going to study is problem solving because that is the core of what programming is. We tell a computer how to do things in small steps with only a handful of commands. The problem, though, is how do we combine these commands to make the computer do what we want it to do? We're going to use flowcharts as a programming tool to clearly and visually describe the steps. So my goal is to get each of you to understand programming and to enjoy programming. And even if it turns out not to really be your thing, I hope that you still have a good time regardless. So in this first lesson, we are going to talk about what are algorithms, then what are variables, next input and output, and lastly if statements. All right, that's it for this video. Let's continue on to the next. In this video, we'll talk about if statements. So with input comes uncertainty. After all, the user could input anything. Now, if we want to respond differently to different inputs, right? What if they said this or what if they said that? You already hear me saying it. If, right? We use the if statement. It allows us to branch the execution path, right? Make it go either left if they said that or right if they say that, right? Things like that. So here I have a program that says please enter your name. This is actually on the slide. I don't actually have it in my program right now. I took a screenshot. So please enter your name, and then so we have name, our variable, right? The input goes into our name variable, and then I check, is what they typed the same as Michael or Michael, right? Spelled the same way. So did they type Michael? Well, if it's true, then I have the output, I have the program output, you have the same name as my creator. Or if it's false, if these things are not the same, right? If they typed a different name, it says welcome, and then the name they typed. So here we have an if statement, and it has branches, right? It could go right if it's true, and down if it's false. So notice there's a decision diamond, right? That's this thing, the decision diamond. The decision diamond has to contain an expression that will evaluate to either true or false, because that's the two branches that it has. To create true or false, you have to compare. The following comparison operators exist. 2 equal signs in the computer means check if left and right are the same thing, right? Equality. Not equals is with an exclamation mark, right? That says check that the left and the right are not the same thing, right? And then if they're not the same thing, then it's true. If they are the same thing, then it's false. We can also do less than, we can also do greater than, right? You can do those with numbers. Let's take a look. So the paths, notice that the paths always come back together again. We see that over here, see? Although they split, they do come back together again. The program always has one ending. If you actually need to return a different value depending on the different paths, you can use a variable. Now, we're not going to talk about returns until I think lesson 6. So don't worry about this if it doesn't make a lot of sense for you. But for now, know that they'll always come back so that we can end, right? Because there's only one ending. So I'd like you to do a little exercise. I would like you to add an if statement to your 2-input, 2-output flowchart that we made in the last video. And make it check that the age is greater than 16. If it is, you can output that you can drive a car in Iowa. Otherwise output, you are not allowed to drive. Good. So take a moment, update your flowchart, and then so pause it. And then when you come back, when you unpause the video, I will show my solution as well. All right, let's go take a look. So here I have this 2-input, 2-output flowchart, and I'm going to edit it. I'm going to add an if statement. And I'm going to see if age is, I could say either less than or greater than, depending on where I want true or false, where I want the outputs. I'm going to say if age is greater than 16, right? If I'd done less than, I'd have to change the messages around, right? Where I put which message changes if I say less than or greater than. Actually, it is if age is less than or equal to 16, because if they are exactly 16, they can also drive, right? So you can do less than, greater than or equal. Greater than or equal is just putting the equal sign after the greater than. So here I'm going to output, you can drive in Iowa. And then in the false, I say you cannot drive a car. Is that what it asks? You are not allowed to drive. Okay. You are not allowed to drive. So there we are. Let's take a look. I'm just going to do it for me again. I'm 42. It should be fine. So my name is Michael. Please enter your age. My age is 42. Let's see what it says. And once again, it's going to evaluate that expression. Let's take a look. See, it evaluates it to true. I paused it. Let's continue on. So we see that it goes into the true branch and it says, you can drive in Iowa. Ooh, and it said it again after your age is 42. We have that same problem we had before. Let me go fix it. I'm just going to add a new line once again over here. Now I'm going to try it with a value where I know that I'm not supposed to drive. I have a son who is 3. Let's try it with his name and age. So please enter your name. My son's name is Ferdinand. Please enter your age. He is 3. So now it says, hello Ferdinand, your age, right, is 3. You are not allowed to drive. Excellent. So that brings us to main point 4. If statements allow us to branch a program so that different things happen under different circumstances. Good. That is it for this video. Let's continue on to the next.